Well, it's taken me 2 days to figure out how to get that zipper on right, and the sides, and even with my walking foot, as I'm sewing this, it's getting distorted because it's the OtterTex waterproof fabric, and I'm still thinking. It takes me days to figure some things out, because with this OtterTex, you can't sew it, then rip it out if you make a mistake and sew it again, because, well, you just can't. So, what I'm having to do is think everything out really carefully. Very carefully. So, let's see. I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I need to pray some more about this, because I'm not sure what's going on with it. But something really interesting happened yesterday. Well, found out that Frisch's, I have to unzip my thing because it's getting in the way. Found out that Frisch's has a super stack fish sandwich, and I love me a Frisch's fish sandwich. Frisch's fish sandwich, Frisch's fish, whatever. I like them. So after we went to the grocery store, I had my husband take me over to Frisch's, and we had some lunch. And when it was time for dinner, he was eating peanuts, and I told him, you need to stop eating peanuts or you're not going to want any dinner. And he just looked at me and said, yeah, I'm not really hungry. And I said, yeah, me either. About 8:30, he went and made himself a bowl of soup, and I realized that I had totally forgotten to cook dinner because I wasn't hungry. So I didn't eat anything and went to bed. And I don't know what it was, if it was the coffee drink that my daughter bought me or what, but I didn't get to sleep until 4:30 or 5, something like that. But I was watching not preppers, but homestead videos. And one of them was Red Step Stackers. He was planting his seedlings. And Red, my friend Ginger, she makes a lot of money at the farmers markets with her microgreens. She just keeps them growing continually, and she harvests them every week. If it takes 15 days to grow, you just have 3 different pans and time it so your first pan's ready of each kind for the very first farmer's market, and then you will have all sorts of microgreens and make lots of money just for watering your little greens. It's a very good idea. And you can take some of your extra fruits and vegetables and sell them too. And your eggs, just candle them. Make sure you don't have any little chickens growing, just in case one of your girls is a boy. So anyway, I've been rearranging today. I've moved my wall out of the way so I can get my machine back in there, vacuumed the carpet, and then had to put a fortress here to keep the cats and the dogs out of it. Yes, Abby. I think I'll paint a bright picture and see if I can't get some fabric made of my own design. I think it'll be fun. I haven't really had a goal in painting for a long time. So we'll see how it goes. I've got folk art bright colors, and then I've got the ready to pour acrylic paints. So it is looks like resin, because it is. I think, but it's really cool when it's done. If I had one around, I could show you, but I don't. Not that I can get to, since I put the barricade up for the cat. But 2-3 more days and I'll have at least my printer here. But I won't have a table to put it on, because IKEA keeps saying that the table's going to be there, but it's not. And I can't find another one, because I was trying to find one like that, because I got that to put my printer on and some of my other stuff, and the drawer's got some beads and some paper and things like that in it. So I thought I'd put the kegerator downstairs and put the 3-drawer dresser right there. That's about the same height as the kegerator. And then I could put the printer on that and put all of my printing stuff in that drawer instead of these little drawers here. And I got some plastic bins for organization. Until I can get everywhere. Until I get the machine in and I can figure out what I'm doing with all of my storage cubes, which I may get another one and another set of wheels, so then I'll have 4 sets of 2, and I can put a tabletop across the top of that and have that as a work surface. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm defrosting some chicken to make some stuff for my husband for lunch. Because, that didn't defrost very well. No, did it? No, it didn't. It melted a little bit. So I got some pico de gallo and some what they call mirepoix, which is celery and onion and carrots. And then I've got some extra green peppers in there. Of course, my pico and some secret seasonings. And then I'm going to make these guys afterwards. And they're garden herb potatoes. We'll see how that goes. All right, get up there. Get up there. Get up there. Here, I'll move this. I'll move the seeds. See, it's getting ready to start some seeds here. Come on. Get over there. Come on. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. This cat, she can jump up on the pinball machine, but she can't seem to jump up on this. She can jump up on the table. She can jump up there on that counter, and she's not supposed to do either one. But if you don't touch her, she doesn't like to eat because she's a goober. And I had to start putting their food up here because the dogs will eat it all if they can. So there it is. And this one, if she's got a piece of food she doesn't like, she just throws it over the side of the bowl. She's special. She's special that way. All right, so let's put this over here for a minute. This is so special. I can't believe that melted like that. I was wondering as I was putting it in there if it was safe for the microwave. Because I threw it in the freezer last night. I've already cooked the veggies until they're soft. sweated down, as they say on the programs. Once upon a time, when my oldest daughter was a very little baby, I was actually a personal chef. Because I had to do something where I could take her to work with me because I couldn't find a babysitter. And, well, when you're a single mom, you do what you got to do to take care of your babies. And so I answered an ad for personal chef when she found out my mama was from Alabama. And I auditioned for her. Well, she hired me. My husband took my garbage bowl. I'm not sure what he did with it. He probably put it in the dishwasher. He's silly that way. So anyway, this doctor, she hired me to cook because she had put off the residency so that she could raise her kids. And she had a son that was a neurosurgeon that was finishing his residency, so she was going to start hers. And then she had 2 daughters in college. I think one was a med student. And her husband had cancer. So she needed somebody to cook for him because he told her, you go to school and you get your degree. I want to see you get your degree. I want to live to see that, so do it. So she told me he was losing weight and she was worried about him. So I made some really awesome meals for them. I put 30 pounds on him in a little over 2 months, which is a feat, as you know, if you've ever known anybody with cancer, for them to actually gain weight when they're going through treatment. It was good stuff. And I think it was Tuesdays. I would go cook twice a week, and I would cook like 3 meals each time. And she bought me this awesome cookbook. It's a Jewish cookbook. She found it at a flea market. She already had one of her own. So she would pick out the recipes, and she would go and shop. And then she would tell me what she wanted me to cook. I'd read it, and I'd cook it. I got some funny stories there. Like one time she told me they needed some hummus, but they didn't like garlic in it. So I'm burning up her Cuisinart with the chickpeas and the tahini mixture. And she's got this huge, like 8-burner gas range, and it's got the metal shelf over the top with all the spices and things. And I don't remember what I did, but I knocked a spice over right into that. And wouldn't you know, it was the garlic salt. And you can't take it out. It's in there. Even if you try to take it out, it won't come out. So I finished the recipe and I didn't say anything. And the next time I came in, the kids were there. And they were all ranting and raving about how that was the best hummus they'd ever had. They didn't know what I did to it, but it was the best thing they ever put in their mouths, which really cracked me up. And then another time, oh God, she had me cooking tongue. I've never cooked tongue in my life. But, I mean, how hard can it be? Follow the directions. Except that they were painting. I mean, they had this huge kitchen. I mean, their kitchen was like 3 times the size. The island of the kitchen was twice as big as that table. And it had stuff underneath it, the stuff hanging over it, and then there were counters all the way around 3 sides. And then it was opened up into this family room where they had this huge pizza oven over a fireplace, and they had all of their couches and things in there. And then they had another room past that. There was another living room, and it was wide open. And then the pool was outside that door. And it was funny because they were painting, and I got sidetracked on a second or third dish. I mean, I was making like 6, 7 things at a time. And the liquid boiled out of the tongue. So the tongue started to burn. It smoked up the whole house. So I'm trying to think, how am I going to salvage this? So I realized that you're supposed to peel the tongue. So I peeled the tongue, and I chopped it up and did what you were supposed to do with it. And I fixed all the dishes. And next time I came, they said that was the best tongue they ever had. It had a nice smoky flavor. They didn't know how I did that, but it was great. And the painters had come back because the paint was the wrong color. It had taken on a funky color. My guess, it was the burnt tongue smoke that filled the house up. Sorry about that, Mr. Green, Mrs. Green, Dr. Green. But, yeah, that was an adventure. I did that for a long time. And every time I would show up when Corinne, the maid, was there, she would show me how to iron and how to do it right. Shh, don't tell anybody. And I would make tuna salad for her and my daughter and I for lunch. And she'd see me, she'd go, "Ooh, Miss Judy gonna make us some tuna salad?" I say, "Yes, ma'am, Miss Corinne, I'm gonna make us some tuna salad." They started buying extra tuna because I would make it with like 2 or 3 cans of tuna, so that there was, plenty for the family if they wanted some. And my little girl, she'd bring her baby dolls or she'd bring her books and she'd just play. The doctor at first was concerned. What if your child gets into something? I said, she won't. She's a good girl. She likes to watch Mommy cook. And she would play with Corinne when the doctor and her family weren't there. It was much easier to cook for them when they weren't there. And then I cooked for them for Passover one time. And I went and did the shopping for her for Passover because she was having her in-laws and her parents and all the kids. And then I cooked everything, and I just straightened up as much as I could. I put the dishes in the sink or in the dishwasher. And then the grandma comes in. She goes, "So is the cook going to clean this up?" I said, "No, cook cooks. The maid cleans up. I'll be going to be with my family now. You have a blessed day." She didn't like that. But I didn't work for her. I worked for her daughter-in-law. I was just paid to cook. I was not paid to clean. I mean, if she wanted to pay me extra, I might have. But I had my little girl with me, and I wanted to get her out of there because they were all pretty snobby. Well, the in-laws were. But the people that I'd been feeding, they were really sweet. And they loved my food. I made this huge prime rib for them. Huge. I think it was like 15 pounds. Yeah, it was huge. And it's stuffed artichoke bottoms. Man, those were good. I can't find artichoke bottoms anymore. And when I moved to Columbus, I was thinking, I don't know where I'll find all this food, because I really like this food now, because of course you have to taste what you're making. You can't just make it. You have to taste it, to season it, to make sure it's doing okay. Because sometimes the difference between success and failure is a little pinch of salt or maybe a dash of cayenne. You just never know. So Then I found the Andersons, and oh my gosh, they had such cool stuff at the Andersons. They had the tahini, and they had all the stuff I needed to make all those dishes. And the Andersons was a great place, and they closed that recently. The people who worked there didn't even know that they were losing their jobs until I told them. Because I'd shop at the one near my house, and if they didn't have what I needed, then I'd shop at the one on the other side of town. And I was at the one on the other side of town, and somebody in the butcher area told me that they were not going to have their meats anymore. And man, they had the best meats. I'm telling you. The butchers were amazing. Oh my gosh, it's been 20 minutes. But anyway, they closed that down. But I got a whole bunch of, I think that said 5 minutes. I got a whole bunch of fixtures and stuff from there. Big tables, you know, those big tables that they had all the fruits and vegetables on. They go up and they go down and they go up and they go down. I got those. I got three of those to give free leather crafting lessons to veterans. Because there's a lot of people out here with PTSD. And if you can't be in a crowd because of people's bad behavior, them trying to hurt you, cause you pain, or take your job away from you, sexually harass you, get you fired, tell lies about you. Well, if you can do something else for a living, well, you're ahead of the game. And there was this one guy, Jake, he called me and he said that, well, the guys at Tandy said that he could get leather crafting lessons from me. And I was like, really? Because I took my lessons from him. And Jake says, well, you know, I work at the post office and my knees are shot. I've had surgeries on them. I was in the military and I got hurt. And I'm trying to recover, and it's just not working really well. And I just need something else to do with my hands. And I need a knife sheath. And I can't come to the classes on Saturday because I have to work at the post office. So Scott thought you could teach me. Can ya? I said, sure, come on over. He said, how much do you want to give me the lessons? I said, dude, you were a veteran. You put your life on the line for my freedom. I will never charge you. Never. So he came over, and I let him pay for his leather because I had to pay for it. And being disabled, I can't afford to just go out and buy more all the time. And let him use my tools and my paints and things. And I taught him how to make a knife sheath. And then he came back, and I taught him how to make a Bible cover for his daughter's Bible. And then he called me one day and he said, Miss Judy, I just wanted to tell you that I have quit my job at the post office. I'm making knife sheaths, and I'm making book covers, and I'm making leather purses full time now. And it's all because you gave me those free lessons. And I thought, wow, if I could just do that a couple hundred more times, then I could be giving back to those people, those men and women who gave up so much for me and my family and all the rest of us. And so that's when I started doing the free lessons. And I've always given kids free art lessons because That's how my son got on the path of being an artist. And that's kept me sane all these years of not being able to work. Yeah, you can only take so much betrayal by people when you're supposed to be doing a job and they're doing their best to stop you from doing that job. I am going to go through my third lid here in a minute, I think, because that one's too big, the other one's too little. Maybe this one will be just right. And that white stuff you see under my sink, that is diatomaceous earth. And that's down there because out here, when it rains, huge ants come into the house. And the diatomaceous earth, yep, that's the right one. The diatomaceous earth, well, it cracks their exoskeleton because it's ground up lava rock, finely powdered lava rock. And they dry out and die. And it works with fleas, and it works with ticks, and it works with any insect that has an exoskeleton. And the great part is, it's non-toxic, and this is food grade, so you could eat it if you wanted to. And if you eat it, then it will kill any parasites that you may have from anything you may have eaten that has parasites, like sushi. Reading the directions, like sushi or anything with parasites. Period. So that's a good thing. And I'm just about done here. Hopefully my hubby's going to be coming in soon. I think I'll finish the chicken off with a tablespoon of butter because I cooked it in coconut oil. It's healthier. But the butter will give it a little bit of an emulsification. Kind of thicken it up a little bit and make it taste really good. And since I have to put a tablespoon of butter in those potatoes, I think it'll be okay. Alright. So, I've probably bored you to tears today. So for now, since I've got a couple of things that I need to do, I'll talk to y'all later. Lord, bless everyone who listens to this video, who watches it. Heal them, strengthen them. Lord, I thank you this very day that weak hearts get stronger, clogged veins and arteries flow free, no clots are thrown, it all liquefies and is passed through the body because the blood of Jesus flows through the veins of each and every man, woman, and child of God that's listening to this. And Lord, I thank you again that the gel in our eyes become more and more perfect every day, fluid, no floaters, no dark spots, no anything. And no swimmers doing backstroke either. Lord, I thank you that you watch over everybody's crops and their animals and their children. Don't be letting a 14-year-old hang out with a boy unless you have spoken to the parents, because a lot of mothers of sons don't care what happens to your daughter. I know. Because mother assured me that my daughter would be safe, but she wasn't. So, keep an eye on her. Oh, that's it for now, Lord. Bless everybody. In Jesus' name, amen.